in early we've been working for many years in the early years sector and working with schools. But recently we put together our international program to support schools in various countries across the world in how we can help support those schools improve the quality of their education and improve the outcomes for the children that they are working with. Sorry, can you see my picture?
Yes, we can see you. Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. So Orange Moon works in collaboration with a number of organizations to help us develop our education programs in the UK, but in various other countries across the world. Recently, we've started working with schools in India, Malaysia, and we are very honored to be given the opportunity to work with schools in Thailand. This work that we do is a collaboration, it's in a partnership with other key organizations. And today, what I'd like to do is introduce you to our key partner for our international programs, which is Futura Learning Partnership. And they've joined us. I can just see they've joined our meeting today, which is great. Thank you.
Barrington,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. If you're presenting, we can't see any of your presentation. We can just see the name Barrington.
Yes, I will be presenting shortly. I'm just going to start sharing the screen if I can, if the technology will allow.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought you weren't sharing and you thought you were. Fine. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So what I'd like to do is now sort of share the program that we've implemented in various countries to give you an idea of our program, to give you an idea of the opportunities, to give you an idea of how we can help support you as a school in your objectives to improve and develop your education and develop the programs that you provide to your children. So this is the purpose of this presentation I'm going to go through now, and I'll also introduce other members of our partnership. So let me do that first before I start showing the presentation. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Pana Nagar, our Director of Education, International Education. Pana, do you want to say a few words?
Hello, everybody, and it's lovely to see you all. We can just see you in a small screen, but it's lovely to meet you all on screen. So I am Tana Nagara. I'm the International Director of Education and Training from Orange Moon, and developing our Orange Moon training side of the business here in India. So we're calling from India at the moment.
Gary.
Yeah, thanks, Barrington. And hello, everyone. I'm Gary Schlick. I'm the CEO of Futura Learning Partnership. Futura Learning Partnership is a multi-academy trust in the UK, and we have 26 schools spanning the 2 to 19 age range that we work with. And we've worked in partnership with Orange Moon now for some time, setting up programs to do with training of our colleagues in schools in the UK, but also developments internationally. And that's why we're in India as well, and sat in a cafe in the hotel. So apologies for the noise in the background.
Okay, and Tamara.
Hello, everybody. Lovely to meet you. I'm Tamara Dexter. I work with Gary at Futura Learning Partnership, and I'm the Director of Early Years and Inclusion. And another piece of work I lead on across the trust is our international school partnerships.
Excellent. And also Tamara, working with Yvette on the child care provision. Do you want to mention that briefly?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've worked for quite some time now with Orange Moon to develop early years partnerships. So that involves our primary schools connecting with Orange Moon to offer sort of like home childcare arrangements, early years education, and kind of like those training opportunities for colleagues across our trust as well.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you. I'm going to try now and share a presentation, so bear with me one moment to see if I can make this work. Can you now see the presentation? Has that come through? Right.
Barrington, your presentation can be seen.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
Barrington, can you, that's it. Okay, make it into a slideshow. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, great. So, recently we updated our whole company on this exciting international partnership through our annual company conference. So let me go through and explain our program. So really this is around our international program that we offer from Orange Moon. And the program brings together Orange Moon Training, as described to you earlier, who we are experts in our teacher development through our educational programs. And it's about helping schools achieve their goals. And this is early years, primary and secondary. And our partnership brings together a Future Learning Partnership. And Gary's described that group of schools. And again, the strength of the partnership is around ensuring that the schools that we work with for our training have the benefit and experience of working and collaborating with schools based in the UK. So through the partnership, you get the benefit of expert training providers and a leading multi-academy trust of schools in the UK who've experience of the teaching, obviously running schools in the UK, but through our partnership have now got the experience of working in international schools as well. So that's the benefit of the partnership. And the program that we've developed really consists of three sort of main elements. It's all around improving teaching and leadership in schools. It's about sharing proven teaching methods that are designed and we've got a track record of improving pupil attainment. And that's something that I'll ask Gary and Tamara to talk about a bit later. But also giving students and teachers the opportunities to collect globally. So for it to be an international program, we're working with schools in multiple countries. The real benefit of the program of a school, teachers in your schools are able to work collaboratively with teachers in the UK and other parts of the world. That's really what gives the benefit to this program. But really, it's all about creating a lasting change. What we do not want to do is come and bring a short program and that's it. It's got to be a program that's going to bring lasting change. So it's a long-term strategic program and partnership that we're looking to develop. So in terms of the schools that we work with, I'll ask Gary and Tamara just to talk a little bit more about your schools and the makeup of the school, if you don't mind, in terms of the primary, secondary, and Tamara, if you could tell us a little bit more about how your earliest provision and your the teaching hubs that you have. Is that okay? Sure. So Gary, just a bit more about the overall schools, please.
Yeah, of course. So we currently have in Futura 20 primary schools with children aged between 4 and 11, and 6 secondary schools with children aged between 11 and 19. The schools are fairly close geographically, so they're in the southwest of England, mostly around the city of Bristol, and across across Futura, across the partnership, we have about 1,800 staff and 13,000 pupils that attend our schools. We've also got some preschools and are looking at expanding our provision to the very youngest children that we can have in our schools. So yeah, quite a lot of children, quite a lot of staff, and certainly one of the things that this has enabled us to do is not only provide really engaging and motivating activities for our pupils, which is obviously really important, and to help develop their global awareness and global citizenship skills. But it's also really motivating and rewarding for our colleagues as well. So we've already had quite a number of our teachers and our teaching assistants that have been involved in international programs. And some of that has been actually going out to schools to work in schools and learn from colleagues in other countries. And some of that has been actually demonstrating and modelling practice in UK schools as well. So yeah, lots of exciting programs. And I mean, I don't know what it's like in the area where you are at the moment, but certainly in the UK, we have a problem recruiting and retaining the very best teachers. And this is something which we see is really helping with that as well. So a number of our colleagues tell us that one of the things that attracted them to join Futura is the opportunity to be involved in this sort of program, because it's something better than you would normally be able to do, something more interesting, and something that really sort of generates a really positive view of being involved in the trust. So Tamara, you're going to talk a bit about.
I think Gary's explained that we have 20 primary schools and we have multiple preschools attached to those primary schools as well. And we're actually growing to make sure that there's a preschool in every one of our schools. One of the other things that we've developed is early years hubs. So over our 5 different geographical locations, we have a highly skilled early years facilitator. That's like an early years lead that works with colleagues in all of those preschools and reception classes to provide training, to provide coaching and support. Within those hubs, multiple colleagues have been able to access the benefits of training with Orange Moon through apprenticeships and early years programs. They've also benefited from touring opportunities. So many of our teams working in early years classrooms have been able to travel abroad and see practice in other countries and develop that further. And really what we're doing within our trust is developing those early years experts, and then they collaborate with schools that we have international partnerships with. So for example, in Chestnut Park, our early years teachers have connected with early years colleagues in India, and they've been able to regularly meet. They've been able to show videos of their classrooms, support with planning, support with training opportunities, and really maximise the benefits of a programme like this to ensure that the schools both in England and India have been progressing forward. And that's something that we've had excellent feedback from, and it certainly enables our staff and staff in other countries to continue to learn.
Excellent. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you. And Panna, just briefly for yourself, obviously you've been a head teacher of an early years setting and a teaching school as well, early years teaching school. So you can briefly explain a bit as well?
Yes. So my background really is I was a head teacher of a nursery school in south of England, and 16 years of an outstanding nursery school. And part of my role was also to be the national leader of education. And this was working with the Department of Education to go and work with settings within the UK, but also internationally to develop their early years practice. So this was a key sort of moment for me to kind of also get an understanding about what's happening in the global education system. So my background has really helped us within the Orange Moon to develop that side of it with the schools that we're working with in India currently. And so because we were a lead teaching school as well, so we used to do lots of work in developing the early years, and we used to get a lot of requests for support really from the early years settings to go and help and support them. So they could be private, they could be government, or they could be like maintained schools that are within our area which we were located. So this has been a key sort of help and support for us as an Orange Moon to develop that side of it and understand the educational systems and the early years programs that are needed in schools and early years settings across the globe.
Great. Thank you, Panna. Thank you, Gary and Tamara. So hopefully that gives you an insight to the strength of our partnership and what we can offer and what we bring to the partnership from the UK. So the key elements of our program is three parts to it. There's mentoring, modeling, and measuring. So in each of these areas, I'm going to ask sort of Pan and Tamara to explain and work through each of these points, if you don't mind. So the mentoring side of this, Tamara, do you want to go through this, or Pan? No.
Yeah, thanks, Barrington. So, I mean, there's a couple of details on the screen there, but one of the key benefits of a partnership such as this is that ability for people in different countries to communicate. So the real focus on developing those language skills, and that's both for adults involved in the programme and for children. So, for example, if I talk about the partnership between Chestnut Park and Wappledam in India, those children have been able to communicate on teams such as this. They've been able to communicate in written language and share experiences. Staff have had collaborative training together. They've had one-to-one conversations, planning meetings. So that real focus on that development of English language skills has been quite a prominent part of the programme. Then there's also the opportunity for experts within England to sponsor and support people in foreign countries, and that might look like, you know, regular one-to-one meetings, exchanges through writing, planning support, and things like that. Another huge benefit is pupil collaborative partnerships. So we had a wonderful early years project that happened between Wappledam and Chestnut Park, where they each had teddy bears from their own countries, and they travelled around different parts of India and different parts of England. And the children told the stories of those bears through online verbal communication and through diaries. And this has just sparked huge amounts of interest for the children. They've loved doing about it, learning about it. Not only have they improved their language skills, but they've also improved their cultural understanding about what's happening in those countries. Children in early years have also performed poems, songs, stories for each other, and festivals. They've watched assemblies, and they've just maximised those cross-cultural opportunities for both the adults and the children as well. And a key part of that mentoring is definitely around training and planning support. So that's really, really important that mentoring is developing both the professional knowledge and the skills to ensure that the teachers are continuing to learn and improve upon their practice as well.
Thank you.
Excellent. So modelling.
Can I say a little bit about modelling?
Yes, please, Panna.
Okay, so this is really amazing how this really worked out, because whereas Tamara was saying that we were able to share live lessons from UK, and we were able to model what kind of teaching skills and strategies do we use in the classrooms, and how they could use and transfer those skills into India schools, and they found that really, really helpful. And that helped them to plan their curriculum and sort of embed that within their own system, and how that would, you know, balance between what they do and how they want to change their practice, really, because that's the gap that they found, is understanding how children learn and how do we give them those opportunities for learning in the classroom. So we were able to demonstrate them in live classrooms. We were able to exchange with them. How do we do planning? How do we work together? And through the touring scheme and the photographs that you see, so the first group of the touring scheme came to India, and they were able to set up the classroom into similar way to the way that we would set up a classroom in UK. And the children were able to access those different opportunities, and we were able to see how different it is, and the children responses told us where the gap is in terms of what was happening in India and what's happening in UK, or, you know, how the early years practice should be. So that was really amazing. And the learning environments that we have in UK and the learning environments that is in India is very different. You know, it's through rote learning, sitting on benches, but it's very different. You know, it's like, so they found that really, really useful. So through those modeling lessons that we showed them.
And finally, measuring.
Measuring. Do you want to say something about measuring?
Yeah, so basically the measuring is looking at the impact, because of course if you want schools to be involved in a program like this, you want to see the impact. And we are most certainly seeing that across our schools in England and also in India that are involved in programs such as this. So some of the feedback that we have is the children's level of engagement in the opportunities that they've been provided with. And that's come from the training that the schools have received from the UK and from this programme, and really enhancing those teachers and practitioners' skills of delivery and the different way of doing things. Because sometimes it's not about doing something better, but it's exposing adults to different ways of doing things that can maximise those learnings for children. So, for example, there's been observations of teachers remotely from experts in the UK, and they've been able to provide that real live feedback on strengths in practice and areas for development and improvement. And the teachers have really valued this. Teachers in India have also benefited from watching live lessons and accessing live staff meetings, live training opportunities, and that's been really impactful as well. Within this programme, there's opportunities to learn like that, but also opportunities to learn through online modules. And that gives practitioners that time to really think about and reflect on the learning that they've seen and that they've read about. And then they get that opportunity to apply it and get that feedback from an expert in the UK, which has really, really helped. The programme is also incredibly well structured. So it's designed to cohesively build on the skills in incremental small steps. And that's been really, really impactful as well. So there's a learning element, then there's a go and apply element, then there's a review and reflect and have feedback. And that has really maximised adults' learning opportunities. Again, those adults' feedback about the impact on the children in the early years learning as well.
Thank you, Tamara. And the key word that Tamara's mentioned several times there is impact. And that's really the benefit of this program. So our training programs, yes, they have a strong academic content to them, but really it's the real benefit of the program is a vocational program, and it's about looking at the practice and assessing the practice and measuring that practice and making sure it is actually making a difference, and how we can improve. So that's one of the key differences between our programs and the academic programs. This is a vocational program. A description of a program that we've put together for our schools is came out of the last visit when we were in India, and doing our observations of practice there. And really we've structured a teacher training program that has so addresses, looks at early years, it looks at primary and secondary. It's what we need to do in any teaching is making sure that the basics and the foundations of teaching is in place before we can move on to more advanced and senior programs. So I won't go through the slide in detail, but just to say that we've got a foundation introductory program, and we focused initially on early years in India, which is why Panna and Tamara are physically in India at the moment, because they're delivering the first of these training programs to a school in India starting later on this week. But those programs move on to advanced and leadership programs, and I'll explain a bit about those in a moment. But I think the key thing, and why they're international, each of these programs, they are not simply UK training programs that we're trying to deliver in different parts of the world. They are UK-based training programs, but we've worked and developed them to make sure that they are contextualized and relevant for the country that they're going to deliver them into. So if we were working with you on these programs, we would work with you to make sure that our programs are right for Thailand as a country as a whole and for your local school, understanding your local cultures, the dynamics with your children and your parents. So we would want to do is come, and we hope to be able to come back later in the year to work with you to help design the programs jointly so that they are most impactful. In terms of the program, so as well as the introductory programs, we've also got our formal teacher training programs, and these programs are designed to give our teachers across the world the opportunity to become qualified to UK teaching standards. So in the UK, the main teaching standard is QTS, which stands for Qualified Teacher Status. We're able to offer, with our partnership with the university and the support from Futura, to deliver this international QTS program to teachers in Thailand and other countries in the world, to enable you to have the full UK recognised teaching qualification, which allows you to teach, obviously, in not just schools in Thailand, but schools in other countries in the world, including the UK as well. There's a similar program which is called the IPGC, which is the program. The PGC is more recognised internationally as a teaching qualification, but to be clear, it doesn't give you QTS, so it doesn't allow you to teach in the UK, but it is a valuable qualification to allow you to become trained, your teachers to be trained to international teacher training standards. And this will certainly benefit. And there is actually an early years version of this program, so designed for early years teachers as well. And we deliver this, as I say, in partnership with the University of West of England, and we'll have the support from Futura Learning Partnership as well. So in summary, in terms of the training program, then I'm going to talk about touring in a moment, but in terms of the training program, simply by joining our programs, you were able to gain globally international recognized qualifications. You are able to be truly an international school because your teachers and leaders have been trained in principles and practice of teaching ranges not just from the UK, but from other countries in the world which operate best practice. And we're able to give that training and knowledge to your teachers and your leaders in your schools. And also it helps you to meet global standards. In this slide, I talk about the NEP, which is the Indian standard. I'm confident that there is an equivalent standard from the Thailand Department of Education as well. So I'll go on to talk about the touring scheme now. So that was all our teacher training program. So the touring scheme is a scheme that's been developed by the Department of Education as part of the UK government. And it's really designed to give pupils and teachers and practitioners in the UK the opportunities and experiences to experience education in other parts of the world, bring that knowledge and experience back to enhance their teaching skills in the UK, but also to enable them to support practitioners in other parts of the world as well. So we've currently got a group of teachers, as Tamara mentioned, a number of teachers and teaching assistants from her school traveled to India earlier this year, and Pana arranged, hosted, and made that happen. So we're all very grateful and thank you for Pana for doing that. And that was an incredible experience. And Pana, do you want to briefly talk about what happened in that experience?
Yes, so we had a combination. The group was made up with some of the teachers and or trainee teachers and trainee apprenticeships that were across our company from other parts of the UK. And so they all came to India, and we went to a campus called Gokuldam. And this is a campus which has got amazing facilities. And we were there yesterday, in fact, at night until 2 o'clock this morning in a cricket closing tournament that the Swami of the school has invited us to go there. And we were so privileged to be there and be part of Orange Moon and Futura Learning Partnership. Now, so that was like the collaboration, and the touring scheme came from the fact that it's something that I'm familiar with, and I work very closely with the Gokuldam school. And so I sort of offered this opportunity to the Futura Learning Partnership to see if one of the schools would be a collaborative school with Gokuldam. And so the journey sort of started about 2 years ago. And we thought this would be the first pilot touring project that we will establish in India, because it's something that both schools are familiar with and the children are familiar with as well. and the teachers. So that's how we started. And so we had 7 apprentices that came to India and experienced the Gokuldham campus. We took them to several other settings and schools, and we went to places of interest and heritage sites and things for them to actually get that whole experience about the country and the culture and traditions, and they just had the most amazing experience of being in a country that they've not even thought about coming, and they were here for 2 weeks, and they had the most amazing experience of learning the education system in India and being in the classrooms with the children, teaching alongside the teachers, so that they were able to talk to them about how do we teach in England about early years. But they had opportunities to go across to work in the school in the higher age group as well, and to experience that. So it was an amazing experience, one of our first ones. And children also loved that. The feedback from the school was amazing because the teachers got so much out of that experience, because our practitioners from UK, who were our trainees, really worked alongside them and talked to them about how to work with the young children and that. So amazing trip.
Great. Thank you, Panna. So what you can see, we've also had a trip, a group that went to the Gambia in Africa, and recently another trip I've been to Portugal in Europe. And what we are doing at the moment, we have a series of trips planned for July and August this year, which you can see will be in Malaysia, in Canada and Spain. And because India and the Gambia are such successful places to go and experience, we're actually going to repeat going back to India and Gambia later this year. And one of the things that really hope to do, you with Ms. Roxana Adams, and one of the things I've asked is her to do and Yvette to do is look at the opportunity or the potential of developing a touring scheme opportunity in your schools in Thailand. And if that's successful through the feasibility study that they're doing on this trip, then we hope to be able to set up your schools, if you are willing and you think it's a good idea, we can perhaps partner with your schools to set up a touring scheme within your school. It would probably start from next year, but there is an opportunity potentially to pilot it this year with a small group that we can do it in August. But I would leave that to Ms. Roxana Adams to define that and make sure that she's happy that that can work. But if she's happy that it's something that we can do, then we'll be happy to try and organise something as a small pilot for this year. And if that's successful, then it'd be great to be able to plan something more structured for, well, next year and moving forward. I will have to make a few points. Our touring scheme is funded by the UK government, so it's not a guaranteed that it will be there every year. We've certainly got the funding for this year up until August, and we hope to have the funding for next year. And if so, we'll hopefully plan several exciting trips to your schools. One of the things about the touring scheme, I think it's on the next slide, which talks about exchange opportunities, because the touring scheme is designed for pupils from the UK to go to other schools across the globe. What we'd like to do is develop that into a true exchange program where pupils from schools in India, Thailand, Malaysia, wherever, can actually come to the UK as well. This is where we'd be relying. So just in terms of the exchange opportunities, I think Tamara's previously talked about the opportunities for teachers in your schools to be able to work collaboratively alongside teachers in the Futura schools. And she talked about teaching new skills and gaining confidence. But also we've got for pupils where you can collaborate on different projects, improving English skills, but real experience of the cultures. And what we are exploring is being able to take pupils from India and Thailand, Malaysia back to schools in the UK. And this will be, it's something that we are in the planning stages at the moment. It would be relying on schools in the UK sort of hosting families. I don't know if Tamara or Gary, you're able to say anything about how you think that might work.
Yes. So we have done pupil exchanges before. So we know that they work and are really successful, and pupils from both schools, I think, get an awful lot from that. And it's one of the things that we're really keen to develop as part of this overall partnership opportunity. So there's absolutely no reason why we can't do that. We are focused particularly at the moment on developing exchange programs for children in the 16 to 17 age range. So they're going to be the first ones that will be part of the exchange. But actually, we can do it with younger pupils as well. So it is one of the, I think, the real benefits of this type of program. Brilliant for teachers and teaching assistants, absolutely. But if we can really give an opportunity for some of our children and young people who wouldn't have this opportunity otherwise, it is life-changing for some of those children. So absolutely something that we are determined to not only just have a small number of children involved in, but all of our schools offering some sort of exchange program for the pupils.
Great.
Can I just come in as well, Barrington?
Yeah, sure.
So this week, while I've been in India, we've had some discussions with the school Gokuldam that we're working with already. And we are planning to have the leaders from the school that we're going to be collaborating with, which is Vedant School in Surat in India. And the leaders are actually going to be coming alongside with Swami in September to the schools, Fichura schools. So that will be our first step in terms of leaders coming over. And then we are planning a trip for the students from Fichura Learning Trust in possibly between November and January to plan a trip to India. So that would be first sort of trip coming to India. And then the Indian students from here would be coming in May. So that's the kind of plan that I haven't even discussed with Gary and Tamara yet, but we have spoken about it and they are really interested in making this happen. So I think it's going to be just the logistics of how that all happens and how we do that. But it's mainly through home exchange. So there'll be homestays and the same students that come to UK will be hosting them. And then the students from India will be coming over, staying some of the time at the Gokuldam campus where they have the facilities, and then some of the time with Indian families as well. So they get that real cultural experiences as well. So that's the next plan. But Gary and they've just come and we haven't had the time to actually discuss that. But that's kind of the plan ahead we're thinking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it'd be great to be able to work with your schools and understand how a similar program could work with your schools. And I'm hoping, I don't know if Roxana Adams, if you're able to make any statements, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to do a similar sort of thing with your school in the Azhar Academy, if that was feasible. Are you able to comment at this stage?
Facilitate. And I think now that we've come here firsthand and we've seen what we're able to support with, and Mr. Pearson and his team, and if you're happy to have us train your teachers and exchange good relations, and that will be fantastic.
Great. So we've got many opportunities, and even when we talk about exchange programs, we're also in discussions. We talk about exchange programs across different countries, but also about exchange across different cultures and faith-based schools as well. So we're really privileged, Orange Moon is privileged to be working with the Azhar Academy, to be having a real insight and in-depth of working with an Islamic school. So making sure that we understand and integrate the Islamic culture into some of our programs. That's one of the real strengths. And that's the work that we've been doing with Ashfaq Chowdhury. And one of the exchanges that we'd like to do back in the UK even is with the Futura schools and the Azhar Academy as well. So we've got those cultural exchanges as well. So there's really a whole range of opportunities that we can bring together in terms of exchange. So it's not just cultures, it's cultures as well.
Absolutely.
So just to wrap up before we open for any questions, just to summarize then, our international program we're looking to grow and develop. We're already, PAN has already done some early investigative work in Sri Lanka. And I believe they're keen to move forward in this. I mean, just briefly, how far have we got with that, Banu?
So, thank you, Barrington. So I came to India last was in January, February time, and I also had the opportunity to go to Sri Lanka and sort of understand the needs within the schools there. And we've already got a partner that we're working with in Sri Lanka who is really interested in developing the programs in a similar way that we were introduced in India and other countries. So Sri Lanka, I am looking to go back again and explore further opportunities to see how that would work as well and offer the same offer that we have in India.
Okay. And then Shokshana, so we've been in Malaysia for the last week and Yvette as well. What sorts of opportunities have you seen there that we can develop?
Like to speak. We've seen some really good work happening there. We visited a school in Putrajaya, and there's a lot of good teaching that's happening. And we also saw Little Caliphs. There's a school that I want to explore more. That's Isa School. That's in Shah Alam. So we're hoping maybe on a next visit, we'd be able to visit and see what work we can do. But in terms of the school here in Thailand, amazing stuff happening here. Actually gave us goosebumps during the presentation, and we have a link to the live presentation. So I am going to share it, and I would urge all of you to have a look at it and see what a prestigious organization or institute this is.
Yeah. One of the things I'd mention around Malaysia that's is about special educational needs. And we know that this is it's an area that we're having, it's affecting all schools in all countries across the world. So one of the things that we're looking in our program is how we can develop our special education needs support and provision across schools. One of the schools that we visited in Malaysia had a sort of amazing provision that we'd like to work and support as well. So as we discuss and as we design and define these programs, it's something that we really need to put a lot of energy into, because this is a global issue and it's something that we want to be able to support with as well.
Yes, and I think in terms of the special needs, we had discussions. I think we should tread very carefully and make sure that we have the right expertise and, well-experienced people, because I think it's a very delicate area, and we want to make sure that when we address that issue, we do it correctly. The other matter is I have not discussed with Mr. Paisan about special educational needs. So maybe we'll have that discussion at some point, and you can tell me if there are needs in the primary school or in the secondary school, so we can understand what are the common issues, and then we know the expertise that we need to bring in to support that.
Excellent, thank you.
Hi, Barrington. Could I add something about the work that Futura is doing around special educational needs in the UK?
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, so one of my roles I explained earlier was the Director of Early Years and Inclusion. That means that I lead SEND across our trust. But one of the other things that our trust is heavily involved with is our Department of Education. So we work directly with government officials to develop special educational needs and provision and practice. And that's something that we'll be able to feed into programs like this. So, for example, a piece of work we're doing at the moment is we're putting SEND conferences across the Southwest for colleagues to access. We're designing training modules across various elements of SEND needs for teachers and teaching assistants to support the highest need pupils. We're also developing a virtual SEND Academy along with the Department of Education in the UK, which will be accessible to multiple colleagues to access training opportunities, and all the learning that we've got as a trust from working with government officials and schools across the whole of the UK, we would be able to feed in to develop programmes like this, depending on the need on the individual schools. And as Barrington was explaining earlier, it's very much about your context and what you need, but I'm sure working collaboratively together, we could support in that way as well. Thanks,
Yes.
Barrington.
Thank you, Tamara. So picking up from the point that Shana mentioned, and I mentioned earlier, these programs that we're discussing, what we're doing today is explaining some of the programs that are currently in play in the UK and in India at the moment. Before we would go too far advanced with the program with yourselves as a partnership, the most important thing that we need to do would be to almost take a step back and think about the planning of the program, make sure we've really understood the needs for all parts of the program, the exchange, the training, etc., and really make sure that the programs that we do agree to do are ones that are relevant, make an impact, are culturally sensitive, and ones that as a partnership we are going to be proud to deliver, and at the end of the day result in improving outcomes for children, because that's what it's all about. So just to finalize the programs that we're looking to do, we mentioned in here that the early work that we're doing this year would be sort of the planning stages with schools in Thailand, and we'll see how that develops. And in the Gambia, and then in the next couple of years, these other countries also we're looking to develop programs into as well, just to give you an idea of the flavour of the programs and the next steps. So I would sort of finish and conclude my introductory talk here. And again, just to repeat, we would need to plan a partnership carefully. We need to plan a partnership sensitively. We need to structure it to make sure it's at the right pace and it covers the needs of your schools. And in order to do that, we need to spend time understanding that. So the work that is going on this week and perhaps in August is really designed to make sure we understand the need and we can plan a program appropriately. And then hopefully let's move forward quickly in next year, and it'll be an amazing program. Everything I've seen and heard so far tells me that this could be a really amazing program. So thank you from Gary, Tamara, and Panna, and we will be open for any questions. Thank you.
Can I just add, thank you, Barrington, and thank you to Gary, Panna, and Tamara as well. I just wanted to add that Rukhsana and her team will be here until Tuesday. So there will be some time to explore, to discuss, to observe, and then we will get some ideas. I don't think it's going to happen all in that time, but it will be the start. But I truly think that you guys need to have a look at the Facebook link of what happened this morning. It's going to blow you away, honestly. I still can't believe it. And I just feel so honoured to be here. Barrington, you have truly missed out.
Thank you.
You missed out, okay? All right. So we are going to move on. I know we said open to questions, but if you don't mind, I'm going to move on to Ashfaq, if that's okay, because he's been waiting patiently. I've seen his face appear a few times. But let's hand over to Ashfaq. And then at the end, we can open it out to questions, okay? So Hello and welcome, Ashfaq. You are another one that's missed out. Okay.
But unlike Barrington, I haven't totally missed out because I'm hopefully on my way to Mr. Paisan. And can you all hear me, first
Yes,
of
we
all?
can. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. So thank you for the opportunity. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to my dear brothers and sisters. Quick introduction to myself. I think the first and most important introduction is I'm a friend of Mr. Paisan, a man I dearly respect and keep in very high regard as a man that is a visionary and a man that is running an outstanding institution for generations. He's kind of, his generations, the service to Islamic education in Thailand is noteworthy. And he has, on many occasions, invited me. We've tried to actually make this journey happen. But Alhamdulillah, eventually, I suppose our team is there. And I am hoping to be with you. Paisan has said that this time, I believe he's going to slaughter a camel to celebrate that occasion. I think he's going to keep his promise. Hopefully, he's listening to me now. So just to give a quick context to you. So I'm from the Association of Muslim Schools UK. We represent the interest of Muslim schools, just like yours, in the UK. There are approximately 187 Muslim schools in this country. Out of those, 38 of those are actually sponsored by the UK government. And the rest of them are private and they're spread across the country. We have approximately 45,000 young people studying in these schools in the UK. And Alhamdulillah, I'm pleased to say it is the largest in the Western world, that outside Muslim countries, this is the largest number of children that study in Muslim schools, and also largest number of Muslim schools in number. You also have, Alhamdulillah, sat in front of you, one of our best head teachers of Muslim schools in the country. She will not talk about herself, but I take the liberty of doing that. Mrs. Ruxana Adam is a fantastic practitioner. So we have sent one of our best to you, and make sure you make good use of that. Mrs. Ruxana Adam is also working on very, very innovative projects across the UK, Alhamdulillah, at the moment, supporting many, many outstanding schools across the country. Recently, we've been working on, together actually, on one of the new, we call it the Eton of Muslim schools in Leicester, where we're working on a school that will mimic the standards and the looks of a traditional British private school, the likes of Eton, Harrow, and the likes, and try and compete with them from day one. One of the things that we work with across this country is working with the UK government on issues that affect Muslim schools. So at this point in time, we're working with the government very closely to increase the number of Muslim schools that are funded by the government. So that's one of the projects I am leading on at this point in time, working very closely with the education minister, with the officials, the senior officials at the Department for Education, and also Muslim school leaders across the country, so that inshallah more of our schools, not just 38 at the moment, can actually become government funded rightfully, just like we have got Catholic schools. Rightfully, we've got Church of England schools and Jewish schools as well at the same time. So we want the same for our Muslim children. The Association of Muslim Schools, you'll be pleased to know, has within its membership the best schools in terms of GCSE results in the UK. In fact, for more than 8 years now, the best school that scores the highest in GCSE, which is one of our Star Academy schools called Tawheedul School in Blackburn, has been top in the UK in more than 8 years running. No school has managed to beat that school. They are still actually scored the best GCSE results in the UK by performance, by how the student performance is. And at the same time, Alhamdulillah, our organization is now working across the country to build capacity of schools. And Barrington is our critical partner for that. Together, we are redesigning the UK framework for training of teachers, training of middle leaders, training of Muslim head teachers, and also Muslim, hopefully going forward, Muslim executive head teachers, those who run more than one school, like Mrs. Adam, who is now sat in front of you, who run multiple schools. So our aim will be that we want to, inshallah, share these with your school. And our relationship with your school is not new. Kaisan, alhamdulillah, has been coming to Luton very kindly, and he's been enjoying, I think his favorite dish is fish and chips. He loves that a lot when he comes to the UK. And I think he's a fan of the Southampton Football Club, if I'm not wrong, as well, at the same time. And he goes to watch one of those matches as well. And what we have been doing during that time is that we've been working with your fantastic students who've been exceptional. Alhamdulillah. And I'm also pleased to say that from people from Thailand, their level of English did astonish me. Level of confidence did astonish me. Alhamdulillah, they were so good. They managed to do confidently presentations and assemblies in front of our students when your students came to this country. At the same time, our friendship had carried on. So your students have been coming to Azhar, as you know, for the last few years. And hopefully, inshallah, going forward, the next placement of your international placement of your students, we are hoping that is going to be in Birmingham, where I'm based at the moment. I used to be in Luton before. And at the same time, it will also be in Azhar to build up that relationship going forward. And I also encourage, inshallah, hopefully going forward, that some of your leaders and teachers will be coming to the UK to do student exchange soon. And now I've got Yvette and I've got Mrs. Adam, who are now exploring the possibility of setting up an exchange with teachers from Azhar Academy, one of UK's top schools, outstanding schools. In this country, we have 4 categories for schools. And outstanding is the top category of that. And Mrs. Adam's schools, all of them are outstanding. Alhamdulillah, because of, first of all, the extremely hard work that her team does. And at the same time, alhamdulillah, the mercy of Allah and blessing. So what we are hoping, and I'm going to push, hopefully, Barrington, when I see him in Malaysia, hopefully he's going to be there for me, waiting, that, we're going to be exploring, after all the preliminary work that is done by Miss Yvette and Mrs. Ruxana Adam, the possibility of having a pilot program, as Barrington mentioned, a group of UK teachers coming and spending time with your teachers, so that they can actually work together to learn from each other, not just one way, just from the UK, but to learn from each other. The UK teachers to learn from the Thai teachers, the various skills and experiences that they have, and at the same time from them to bring their experience of an outstanding Islamic school to a Tariqat school here in Thailand. I believe what that will do is that it will enrich your students far more in terms of their culture and understanding. It will enrich your schools, children's understanding of the English language and the ability to have a strong command of the English language. And as an outcome of that, what we are looking for, inshallah, just like Star Academy's Tawheedul Islam school, girls' school, is top in the UK, I believe very soon your school will become the beacon school where we can train teachers from all over Thailand, Muslim teachers from all over Thailand, and at the same time, your school to become a beacon training school and a template that people across Thailand and Muslims across Thailand will be able to utilize with the vision of your founder to create an institution which serves the Muslims of Thailand for generations to come. And inshallah, I'm hoping that we will see that day within our lives happen. People from all over Thailand, teachers from all over Thailand, leaders from all over Thailand, coming to a tariqat to learn what an outstanding school looks like, taking that back and improving their schools, and as a result, becoming the lead school or lead Islamic school in Thailand. We're also very interested to create further relationship between schools in Malaysia and yourself, just like Barrington has alluded to in the past, and also more actively create relationship between your teachers and other teachers in the Global Association of Islamic Schools, where our Islamic schools are working together across the world to improve standards of Islamic education and at the same time, state education within that country. Finally, I leave you with one thought, which is that inshallah, within our partnerships, and the various scope of the programs that Barrington had alluded to, and our 3 competent colleagues who are now, of course, in India, enjoying the weather while I'm stuck here in the UK with the weather looking half sunny, half not, is that what we want to do is to utilize the expertise of these colleagues who are running 40-odd schools, 40-odd state schools, with absolutely thousands of students, and bring those expertise down to At-Tariqat. Hopefully, we've got our colleagues from the trust, and Barrington and his team hopefully will be joining us in the next visit to look at how we can work together in an exchange program with the possibility of your teachers and leaders working alongside the trust and their various schools at the same time. On this note, I would like to congratulate again Kaisan on this remarkable achievement. And at the same time, I am very much looking forward, inshallah, finally, to come to At-Tariqat, which I've been looking forward to many, many years now. Thank you very much, and Jazakallah khair for your time.
So
yeah, never mind. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa bihi nasta'in wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-aliyyil azim. The first all, I would like to say thank you and just say Assalamu alaikum Ishfaq.
Wa alaikum assalam, Paisan, and I hope my camel is ready because I'm looking forward to it.
Always. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I'm very, very wondered that you can attend on this meeting today. But by the way, I'm very, very interested with the project, Orange Moon project. I'm very, very interested that Wait. Okay. No, you can see me now. Okay. Yeah, I'm really interested that teaching what I know many know that I'm very, very interested in this program, because I try to looking for the best practice for how can we improve the teacher capability and student capability, and any section, I mean, not for study, but activities and everything. So that's why I'm very, very impressive that what is the real best practice right now? I mean, somebody in Thailand, maybe they misunderstood about the best practice. I mean, I guess I always meeting in the ministry application in Thailand, in Bangkok, and sometimes they don't know, they misunderstood about the best practice. They try to make the student can be able to exam only, not quality. The best score in exam that mean the best quality of humanity. And by the this project, I am very interested. And one more thing that we can participate, or we can cooperate together between teachers and teachers, student and student, and visit each others, and we can make up with some activities by group through the IT or online or something like that. Yeah, it's good. And then hopefully in the future, when I visit UK again, I cannot promise that, but if I can visit UK again, hopefully we can discuss more deeply, and and we can start our idea right now. And However, we still looking for you coming in Thailand. We always waiting for you, Ishfaq. How many years I invite you to come to Thailand, but yeah, after in the other half, maybe we can make. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sure. And in August, maybe you can invite your friend to come to see me here, and then yeah, that is the first step that we can make know each others, and yeah, so many things. One more thing, teacher change between a teacher in southern part of Thailand and a teacher in UK, especially not for public school or Islamic school, but anyway, any school we can make it happen in the future, and we hope that the new generation or new innovation in teaching will, yeah, I don't know. We can continue upgrade our skill in the future. That does mean the present skill is not lost the edge, but we try to looking for another way by the AI or something like that, or Google Gemini or DeepSeek or something like that. Yeah, we have to upgrade our teachers and our students. Yeah, there is only one procedure only. It's not whole project. One equipment only. Yeah, we have to create a new innovation in education, especially how to make connection between students in Thailand and students in UK and all over the world. I mean, but I was wondering that one question that I have to ask the world, not ask you, but ask why they have to pay for education. I really wonder how. So I don't understand exactly, because we invest a lot of money in education, but the quality is the same. It's not improved. The question is, if we don't pay anything for education, what we believe in the future? Is possible or impossible? But we try. But we try to make some connection between Thailand and UK and all over the world through the new innovation equipment. And I mean, innovation is very important right now. And then this one of the new innovation for us. I talked with somebody from a government office in this morning. How can you do like this? I answer for them. Don't stop thinking. Don't stop thinking. If you stop thinking, so that means you don't want to work anymore. So yeah, they were surprised with my answer, my answer, because if teachers stop thinking, what happened in student, right? Nowadays we try to make a money without quality, but if we change the direction, how to upgrade the quality without money, without investment, is possible? Now, it is a big question in the future, but we have to try. I know it's very hard to very hard to continue our project. But yeah, that question is very, very important. Why we have to pay for education? Yeah, so that's why it is very important. So no, nothing. What? Yeah, please wait a moment. No good thing is cheap, and no cheap thing is good. I know that. Yeah. No good thing is cheap, and no cheap thing is good. That's all I know. So, by the way, we have to pay. Yeah, invest. Yeah, yeah, I know. In this, yeah. But in the future, maybe we can start anytime that we want to start, and we hope that we can cooperate together soon, as fast as we can. Thanks again, Ashfaq and Brenton, and some delegate on this meeting, and then hopefully we can see all of you here. Hopefully, please come to Thailand to visit us and to be a support for us, and how to think, how to do, how to evaluate, how. Yeah. Please, we are still waiting for your coming in Thailand. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam, Paisan, and inshallah, Allah has possibly accepted, our mission of coming and meeting, and I'm very much looking forward to meeting you this month, inshallah. Straight a day after Eid al-Adha, hopefully.
Okay, has anyone got any questions? We are drawing to a close shortly. Yes, but I'm just aware that we haven't had any time for comments or questions. So has anyone got anything they'd like to say, please? Everyone's been so thorough. We have a saying back in the UK, quite similar to what you've just said, Mr. Faison. You get what you pay for. Yeah. And I agree with you. I'm originally from the state sector. I still work in the state sector. And I've often asked myself, why do we have to pay, or why do some people have to pay for education? It should not be the case. It should be free for everyone all over the world. So I completely agree with you. However, in the world that we live, the best that we can do is to share and to work collaboratively. And that's our goal, and that's what's going to happen. Okay, Inshallah.
And Assalamu alaikum. I'd just like to say a big jazakallah to everybody in Thailand, and I just want everybody else to know as well, like Yvette said, they have hosted us and they have welcomed us really well. So we hope that you do take this opportunity and you do work with us together, inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah.
To officially close today's session, may I respectfully invite the licensee and the manager of Atarka Islamia, Mr. Paisan Taib, to give the closing remarks. Please welcome.
No. I'm online right now. Yeah, therefore I would like to say thank you very much for everybody in this meeting, and this is a very, very important meeting today. how can we, but by the way, don't be tired in education. Don't feel tired, and please keep going on. Thailand is not the base. The world is the base. What is world? What's in our heart? So please do it with your heart, but not your hand, right? And yeah, time. This is at the end of the time. I would like to invite all of Muslims to say "Qul huwallahu ahad" before we closing ceremony. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah la ilaha illa anta, wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Subhanallah. Yeah. Finish.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you everyone.
Pesan, I've been told this, by my colleagues, especially Mrs. Adam, that she is completely baffled and blown away by the hospitality and how well you have treated our guests. So we, of course, now are waiting to receive you here in the UK as well.
You come here first.
I am hoping to be with you anyway, inshallah. And you are also invited to be with us here in the UK soon.
Okay, thank you and goodbye to our guests. And thank you. Bye-bye. Say that. So Barrington would like to share. It's okay. I'll make sure it happens. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll get that to you. Yes, will we be able to share a recording of the meeting? It's been recorded and yeah, we can do it.